Hello, this is Peter with another video. Now today I thought I'd do a little update on what I'm planning to do with my bananas this year. So I have been considering planting them back in the ground, and I will be planting some of them in the ground, although I'm having second thoughts on a couple of them, or at least one of them. My thoughts generally for what I'm going to do in this area here, which is probably the most sheltered part of my garden with this wall here. So last year I had 4 varieties in ground. We had dwarf Brazilian here, which is where it currently is in the pot. I moved it here yesterday. It has been on the patio with all my other bananas, and it has just been pushing out a couple of leaves since I moved it out a few weeks ago. In fact, this is probably the best out of all the varieties that I had in ground last year. This has probably performed the best, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, definitely interested to see what this one does in the ground, so we'll definitely be planting that one again. Then we have my clementine, one of my grapevines. This is Suffolk Red grapevine, and this here is my Rajapuri, and that's where it was planted last year. Overwintered it indoors. Yeah, this one hasn't fared quite as well over winter, but it is still alive and pushing out a couple of leaves, so hopefully that'll get going once I put it in the ground again. Then here we have Colocasia pink china, which is popping up all over the place. It's actually starting to spread quite far. On the other side I've got some popping up in places I don't really want it to. But I have been having thoughts about what I should do with this, because as much as I like it here, it is eating up valuable space. I'm not going to get rid of the plants. If I am going to remove them, I'm probably just going to pot them up for now and find somewhere else to put them in ground. But yeah, I'm still considering what to do with them. Here where this avocado is, this is one of the plants for presents avocados, which got sunburnt on these newer leaves, although the older leaves are still alive and the stems still look fine. I'm starting to get some buds on them, so I think this plant's going to be okay. I'm considering planting this in the ground, although not necessarily in that particular spot, because that's where I had my dwarf Orinoco last year, which I'm going to be planting again, probably in that same spot, although I am just having a good think about the space in here and what I'm planning to put here generally. And then at the side here we have some more Colocasia pink china. Now these ones really are spreading. This shouldn't be over here. We just started it here and it's starting to spread out over here. It puts out little runners, and there's one or a couple of them here popping up behind this Lakemont grape. So yeah, I'm going to have to thin these down a little bit and get some of them taken out of the ground. Now here is where I have my manzano. You can see this one is probably the worst looking out of all of the edible varieties that I had in the ground last year. This is one I'm considering whether I actually bother to grow it in the ground again. Every year I've had it, it does really bad over winter, so it grows fairly well in the summer and then it pretty much dies back down to the ground over winter. Whereas the dwarf Orinoco, the Rajapuri and the dwarf Brazilian seem to be much better at staying alive over winter. So I am considering not planting this one this year, but I haven't fully decided yet. I might give it one more year in ground. Yeah, the other problem though in this particular location is it is right next to the Musabaju, which is a very large clump of bananas now, and it does eat up a lot of water, nutrients. You can see the size of these pseudo stems now. So yeah, you can imagine it'd be much more difficult for anything to grow here with the competition from this Musabaju, and also the lack of light as well, because once we get to July and August, this will be completely full of leaves around here, so it'll shade out anything around here in this area. So that is another problem with this particular area here. So yeah, not fully decided what I'm going to do here yet. I could try a non-edible one of my other ornamental bananas, possibly a Musa succumentis, which I've never planted in the ground before, but is supposed to do quite well in the UK, so I could try that. I could also plant something else, like possibly a pomegranate, something I've been considering. Also maybe a pineapple guava. There's a number of different plants which might do quite well here in this relatively sunny spot, except for when the leaves start coming from the Musabaju and blocking the light. And yeah, as I mentioned, definitely want to try and get at least one avocado in the ground. This one is just a seedling. It was meant to be a grafted plant, but it's not. I'm just hoping it's a Mexicola or a Mexican type of some description, because it does have that aniseedy kind of smell to the leaves. So I'm hoping that means it's going to be quite hardy. Of course, it won't be hardy enough to survive winter without any protection. I'll just have to give it the same protection I give my clementine tree, which is doing fairly well. It's pushing out a lot of growth now, and it's got quite a lot of flower buds coming as well. I'll do a separate video on that soon. Okay, so I have planted 3 of the bananas. Dwarf Brazilian, got the Rajapuri and the Dwarf Orinoco back in the ground as well. Removed a few of the colocasias. Might still remove the rest of that clump later in the month. Not fully decided yet. I'll probably just pop these ones up into some containers for now, before I decide what to do with them. They're actually quite valuable. I know a tiny little plug plant is selling for about £10 these days, so maybe I could sell them locally. Again here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these colocasias here. And yeah, I've left the manzano and the avocado unplanted, so yeah, not going to do anything with them today. But yeah, if anyone does have any ideas what I should do in whether I should plant these or not, whether I should plant the avocado and where, perhaps I could find another spot in the garden for it. But I'm just thinking, with it being near this clementine, it'd be much easier to give them protection if they're quite close together, because I've got you can have the lights coming from the same box where I provide power to the different items. So I could plug one in here and plug one in there. That's my thoughts, but it is a bit close. If I planted it there, for example, it might be a bit close to these bananas. I suppose they're only temporary, the bananas. They don't stay in the ground all year, unless I try to experiment with that again. But yeah, overall the bananas look good. The root systems are very good on the Dwarf Orinoco. Lots of healthy roots. The Rajapuri, I was a little bit concerned because it looked like there'd been some rot going on, and there's a few healthy roots though. I'm hoping that does okay. Very happy with the Dwarf Orinoco, had loads of healthy roots in there. So yeah, those should be okay. Just the Rajapuri I'm a little bit concerned about. But I do have a spare one in the greenhouse, so if that does end up failing, I do have a spare one. I'm hoping to keep that one in the greenhouse, and we'll keep it in there, pot it up into a bigger container in a few weeks' time once it's grown a fair bit. And we'll see how much growth it puts on in there compared to this one I have outside. But yeah, if you're just wondering what these rocks are doing here, I've put them around where I've planted different plants, because I was finding cats like to dig around in the soil around the tree. I found that with this Oro Grande clementine, and they kept doing their business where I don't want them to. If anyone has any ideas on how to keep cats out the garden, that would be very welcome as well. Obviously, in a humane way, I don't want to harm them. Just want to deter them from doing business in the ground here. But yeah, overall, quite pleased with the progress so far of the bananas. Obviously, should have got these in probably about a month ago, really, or at least 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, obviously we've been on holiday and stuff, that set me back about a month. But yeah, hopefully they'll do quite well this year, and I'll definitely keep you all updated. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll be sure to keep you all up to date on how these bananas get on, as well as what I end up doing in the this other area as well, and whether I plant this avocado or not. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.